slide. Okay. Prakash, your commitment is this is people who depending on you, dependents are your parents. So you have to pay them 700 per month. Okay, so it's about Vivian said you're providing 900, so in this case I'm going to take Prakash. So 700 times 12 is 8,400 a year, correct? So how old are your parents? Prakash, how old are your parents? The younger one. 55. Okay, so this is 55, your mother, I guess. So 55. So I suppose that they need your 700 ringgit per month to survive for their whole entire retirement period, right? So then we are going to like assume what is the mortality age. So assume how many years you want to provide for them. Let's say they live up to 90. Is it okay? How about your let's say your family history? You kind of like know your grandparents, how long they live, right? So let's say 90. Then that means you have to provide income until age 90. So that means years to provide equals to 90 minus 55. So it's equal to 35 years. Correct, right? So you have to provide 700 ringgit per month for 35 years, and then hopefully, and you want that 700 ringgit to cope with inflation as well, isn't it? You want to know that the 700 ringgit in, let's say after 35 years, if you are still giving 700 ringgit, that might not be enough because of inflation, money getting smaller, and your parents will not have enough money to spend. So you want to have that as well. So another thing, when we calculate this, we also need to know what is the inflation rate and also the return rate. So okay, let's get to the next. I'm going to make another new slide. Okay, the calculation. So when we want to do the calculation, it's about the time value of money. It is taught in the first module of CFP, Certified Financial Planning, or you go through RFP also. In the first module, they'll teach about this time value of money. Well, in my life of being in this industry, and time value of money, in fact, is the most important mathematic skills everybody should learn, but it's not taught in school. They teach us algebra, they teach us of course algebra is very important. Then they teach us what calculus. Calculus, I've never used calculus after I graduated. But we learned calculus in secondary school. And why don't they teach time value of money? Time value of money is so important. But I'm going to teach it to you here. It's not hard, and we can you don't even need a financial calculator, because we can use the Google Spreadsheet. The financial calculator is built in. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so to calculate, you need some. Okay, let me explain to you how you want to. How is the whole picture, so that you understand. Okay, now you can see from the line here, put in text. So your parent now is age 55, right? And then you want to provide enough money for them to spend until 90. So Prakash, let's say something happened to you. You are no longer here, so you want to leave a lump sum of money for your parents so that it can last for their whole life, correct or not? So this is a very simple concept. And how do we do that is, let's say, okay, so you want to leave a lump sum of money. So this lump sum, we don't know how much is this. this. Okay, we don't know how much is this. Let's call this X, or X amount. We don't know how much is this, so that is enough for your parents to spend 700 a month until age 90. So this is the minimum you need to have. At least this amount is enough for them to spend every month outflow of 700 a month. So do you guys follow me? So if you have any question, you can, if you have doubt or if you don't understand any part, just type in the chat box, let me know. So the whole concept is this: if Prakash, you are no longer here, you want to leave a sum of money which is X, we don't know how much is this, but it have to be enough for your parents to spend 700 a month, and it have to cope with inflation. You have to cope with inflation. That means the first year they can withdraw 700, the second year they have to withdraw 700 plus some inflation. So let's say 4% or things like that. So and then another year you have to plus 700 plus inflation and plus inflation, right? So they're going to withdraw more and more and more until age 90 is just enough for them to spend until age 90. So this is the concept. So how do we calculate X? So we need a few figures here, and so I'm going to put it down here in text. Let me see. Okay. So X is what we call the present value. Present value. So you want to know this figure, then later we are going to calculate this using the spreadsheet. And then another is called the payment, PMT. If you look at your financial calculator, you see this button called PMT. So PMT is 700 per month, equals to 8,400 a year. Okay, so payment that means it's a regular payment. And when money is going out from this, you put a negative sign. You put a negative sign. Money is going out. Oh, cash outflow, you put a negative. Then the other thing we need to know is the inflation. Inflation is okay, I equals to inflation. So it's for simplicity's sake, just put, let's say, 4% inflation. And we also need another amount, is called the R variable. This is called the return rate. Now since you have this money, when this money is paid out, let's say your parents put it in a trust fund or invest in something or buy a property or things like that, so it generates certain return, and then that return have to be higher than the inflation, so that it can cope, right? So let's be conservative. Let's say we just put an 8% return. So let's say he buy some balanced fund or things like that, and generate an 8% return average. Okay. So, and then we know that, and we have to have another thing is called the N. The N is the number of period. That means how many years the payment is going out, how many years. So this is, just now we calculate, is 35 years. And then the other thing is called the future value. So future value is the money at the end of the time. It's in the future, so the future is 0, right? Just finish. So this is, now we have this information, then we can calculate. So how do we calculate that? Okay, let's get to the spreadsheet. So I prepared this spreadsheet for you, by the way, which is blank. So because I want to show you how you can do this. And Okay, let's put in the variable we have just now. Okay, let me get to that. Okay, you have the PMT equals, so this is Google Spreadsheet. No, if you have a Google account, you have Gmail, you can use this spreadsheet. Basically free, is at docs.google.com. You can create a new spreadsheet, then you can do this already. And PMT is negative 8,400 a year. And then okay, inflation is 4%. Return, let's say, is 8%. And is the period is 35 year. And then future value is 0, correct? Okay, so the formula to use here to calculate the x, which is the present value, to calculate this, you use this formula. Okay, we're going to calculate. This is the present value. You use the formula. You press equals, then you type PV. This is present value. So how do you use this? It is explained here. Okay, the PV is used to calculate the present value of an annuity investment based on constant amount periodic payments and a constant interest rate. So basically you have to assume everything is constant, then only you can calculate using these formulas. So the first one you want to key in is the rate. So in the rate, do you key in 4% for I using the inflation rate, or do you key in R using the return rate? This is my question to you. What do you think? Should you use I or should you use R for the rate, for the interest rate? Oh, Kevin said E. Okay, R. Okay, Kevin said R. So how about the others? Now okay, we have someone talking here like Chili. Chili, you know, it's actually not I, it's actually not R, it's actually you have to use R. I'm sorry. You have to use R minus I. Okay? So R minus I, sorry, this equals R minus I, because your return, when your money is making 8%, but you have to offset 4% for the inflation. So for simplicity's sake, it's actually not just 8 minus 4, but it's close enough. So we'll just use 8 minus 4 here. So it's equal to R minus 4, minus I. So you get 4%, right? So it should be R minus I. Then in this case, you just type in the formula PV. When you click here, it's going to show you what you should input. So it's the rate should be R. Should be this C7. Okay, and then you press comma. The second is the number of periods, so it's the number of years. It should be N. So you choose C5, and then the third is payment amount. So how much payment is going out per year? So it's this amount, 8,400. Then you press comma. Then it's called the future value. Future value is 0, right? So no, it should be 0. So you choose 0 here. So you see it's calculated already. And then we still have one more to go. It's called this is optional, end or beginning. End or beginning means you withdraw the money at the beginning or at the end of the period. That means when the lump sum come out, do you withdraw at the beginning or you withdraw at the end? So it makes not much difference. But in this case, I would say it withdraw in the beginning. Right, when the money pay out, your mother will need the first amount of 700 to spend, your parents, right? So it will logically it will be at the beginning. It doesn't wait. Say that 150 over 1,000 you put in a bank and wait until the end of the year to withdraw that 8,400, right? So you'll be withdrawing at the start. So let's just put 1 for beginning. Okay. So enter. So it's calculated the amount 163,000. Okay, let's get back to the slide here. So after we calculate, we know that X is 163,000. So this is the amount of death benefit you need. So let's get back to the case study here, where on the needs you need, alright. So death benefit you need 163k.